Rev up your engines! A fail says, Scotty, is planned obsolescence the standard of the industry nowadays? Well, it certainly seems to look that way. With all this electronic stuff, it can be easily made to fail once the warranty is up. The overuse of plastic parts certainly is planned obsolescence. I mean, come on now. You know, the only reason that they're making the engine intakes and parts out of plastic is because it's cheaper to do. They can design them any way they want and make them fast. Because if they wanted to design a really good metal intake, oh, they'd have to have very good casting, and even then when they're done casting the metal, they got to polish it inside and stuff. The plastic is injected molded and it's all smooth inside. They don't have to do anything to it other than bolt it on when they're done and clip the tabs off. So yeah, it pretty much is what the future's holding for us. RT Vol says, can a 7-year-old Civic Si be a good car if it was taken care of? Oh, yes, definitely. I've had many customers over the years buy those things used, totally happy with them as long as they were reasonably taken care of. You don't have to do much to those Hondas. As long as you change the oil every 5,000 miles with regular oil or 7,000 miles with synthetic oil, generally they'll keep running. There's not much maintenance to those things as long as they didn't beat them up. I mean, if you're looking at one and some kid had it and it's got one of those farty little mufflers in it and it's been all souped up with a body panel and has a boom stereo in it, I wouldn't buy it then because they probably beat the heck out of it. But if it's still stock, oh yeah, it could be a great used car. Noah Ingram says, what's your opinion on a 91 Dodge Cummins? Those were solid built vehicles back in the day. It's got a Cummins diesel engine. Those were solid built trucks. Now it is a 91. It's old as the hill. Who knows if it's all worn out or not? I mean, you would never buy something like that unless you're buying it for like $400 if it still runs and drives without having a mechanic check it out. Another mechanic look at it. But if you were thinking about buying one and maybe fixing it up, not a bad idea because they were solid built. I've seen those things with 400,000 miles and they were still going okay. Not like the new ones. Nick Berlin says, Scotty, what do you think are better, Toyota trucks or Ford trucks? It depends on what you want. Now, if you're talking about smaller trucks, yeah, go Toyota for sure. The Toyota Tacoma beats the heck out of any of those small trucks. The Rangers can be okay, but they're nothing compared. Now, if you're going to larger trucks, of course, the Toyota Tundra is an expensive truck. They get expensive to repair as they age and get 200,000-300,000 miles because of their design. But a lot of guys go Ford full-size pickup. And if you're going to tow stuff, yes, definitely, you'd want a diesel that's made for towing. Now, I know the rest of the world, companies like Toyota sell a lot of diesel engines and stuff that they don't sell in the United States. So worldwide, if you can get a Toyota with a diesel, heck, go right ahead. They're not that big in the United States with selling any diesel engines in their vehicles. Sergio Reyes, what do you think about a Volvo S60, Scotty? Fun cars to drive, but too high tech. And you know the Chinese own them now. And they're only going to be making hybrid and electric cars. That's all they said they're going to be making. You lose a lot of money when you buy a Volvo. When they get older, they're endless money pits. But on the other hand, I've had customers buy an S60 used with, say, 80,000 miles for peanuts for $3-4 grand and love the car. If they didn't put on much mileage, they didn't have much breakdown, it can be a good car to buy used if it's low mileage. You know a guy like me that can check it out to make sure it wasn't wrecked, flooded, or stolen. But don't pay much money for them because they have no value now that they're not going to be making any of that stuff anymore. CPU Club, I just bought a 64 AMC Rambler Classic wagon as a project car. What are your thoughts? Cool project car because you can get them cheaper. They're not like you're buying a 67 Mustang you're going to pay through the nose. Those were interesting cars. You know, people either loved them or hated them. But it's basic technology. That was before catalytic converters. That was before all this anti-pollution evap system crap. Yes, I think you made a good choice. You can still get parts for them. You'll have a unique vehicle to drive around with. I think it's a good choice. Steven says, Scotty, what's the best way to keep my power sunroof working as long as possible? First thing you want to do is every once in a while when you open it up, realize they have drain holes in them. On the front, there's 2 little pinhole drain holes, and on the back, there usually are 2. So you want to clean that out every once in a while. You get a garden hose, spray it, and get all the leaves and stuff out. Then you want a good lubricant that's going to lube where it slides. And I find that those spray silicone ones are the best because spray silicone lube is pretty much waterproof. It's very water resistant and it will stay on in the rain. And that will keep it lubricated so it won't bind and stick. And if you live up north, leave the thing alone when it's freezing outside because if you try to open it and things are frozen, you might burn the motor out and even melt some of the wiring. So that's the best way to keep those things lasting. Matthew Gabriel, our Kanda says, are Filipino mechanics good and honest? Well, I've never been to the Philippines, so I can't say there. I've met one Filipino mechanic in Houston here, and he was a very nice, honest mechanic. So it all depends on people. You make racial stereotypes, whether this person's a good mechanic or not. I don't know. In the Philippines, I have no idea. I've never been there, I got fans in the Philippines, so if any of you guys want to chat in and say, yeah, I know some good mechanics in the Philippines, or they might say, no, they're all crooks here. Because, I know guys in New York City, and they say the mechanics there are all crooks. I don't know. I only know the one Filipino mechanic here in Houston. He's a very nice guy, and he's an honest mechanic. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.